Thanks for tuning in to another segment of Incarceration to Incorporation. I'm AB. I'm the founder and the CEO. We got an awesome show today. We got two lovely ladies on. They're going to talk about transitioning back into society and some of the things that they've done. We basically going to do a success story today. Like I said, I'm AB. I'm the founder and the CEO. We talk about people transitioning back into society. Awesome people that have gone down the prison pathway and is now home, whether they're doing something positive in the community or they started businesses or entrepreneurs and doing awesome jobs out here as they transition back into society. As usual, I got my co-hosts with me today, two special co-hosts, Joyce Hall and Joyce Campbell. We're going to talk about a lot of things today dealing with prison reform, and these lovely ladies going to talk about the things that they're doing out in their communities, and I think our ministries that they put together, and just a lot of things that they're doing that's positive and coming from prison back into society. We got some helpful information, and we're going to talk about it. Joyce Hall, my brother, what's going on?
All right. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget, like and share. Don't forget, like and share this podcast. Like and share. We are happy to be graced by some women family that we had to track down all over the country, but it won that party right there in Atlanta and Birmingham. And we're going to give the woman's perspective today, and that's a great thing. We so happy that we got Brother Campbell here now, because Brother Campbell, he know everybody and doing everything. So we just thankful that we can not only give a man's perspective of returning back, but a woman's perspective, the struggles they had to go through, the support systems that they had, and let them tell these women when they're coming home that it's not over. Once paid, a debt is no longer a debt, and that you can make it. All you have to do is just keep your head up, stay prayerful, and keep it moving. Incarceration Incorporation is just one of those platforms where we try to make sure that there are resources and information available to people re-entering society so that we can cut down the recidivism rate and show people that if we can do it, anybody can do it. So
Right.
with that being said, I want to thank you ladies for joining, and we're gonna send it over to Julius Campbell so that he can introduce you all.
Well, good afternoon, good evening, good evening, good evening. I thank you for this opportunity again this week to just be here, to have a platform to share with my brothers and my sisters, especially a platform for returning citizens. And so we have two beautiful ladies, my sisters, that I've had the wonderful opportunity of getting to know and meet. We're going to give them an opportunity to share who they are and exactly what is your relationship to incarceration. So, Deborah, you can start, and then after you finish, Lisa, you can take up the rear.
All right, I had to unmute myself. I'm a little bit slow with technology sometimes, and this is a new platform for me. But I just want to thank you all, AB, Incarceration to Incorporation, Mr. Julius Hall, and of course, my brother Julius Campbell, for inviting us to this platform and giving us an opportunity to have our voices heard. I am a former offender myself. I'm what society would call a repeat offender. So I didn't go to prison one time. I actually went on 3 occasions. And I've been out now over a couple of decades. So I've been out a little while. I was released in 1997. And I started to volunteer with one of the nation's largest prison ministry, which was Prison Fellowship Ministries, which was started by Chuck Colson. And in 2000, I was hired by them, and I stayed on staff with Prison Fellowship until 2019. But we actually started the Offender Alumni Association movement in 2014. And I know some of you may be wondering, why do you call yourself offenders? Well, you know, we want to be able to self-identify. We want people to know that even though we had the struggle, that don't mean we're still in the struggle, but we want a place where newcomers can come and feel like they can be embraced and welcome, and not that we have gotten so high that we forgot where we came from. And then alumni is nothing more than we've all overcome being stigmatized by what society would call criminals. Okay, so we're an alumni of individuals who have come together to mobilize ourselves to make a difference in our communities and to help restore to healthy relationships and to provide opportunities for social, economic, and civic empowerment. And I'm going to leave it right there, Mr. Campbell, if that's a good for you.
Yes, ma'am. That was wonderful. Lisa, you can go right ahead.
You're muted, Lisa.
You're on mute, sister. You're on mute.
She got to do the same thing you did, Deborah.
There you go.
Hi, my name is Lisa Gus, and I just want to say it's an honor to be on this platform. This is the first time me being on this particular platform, and I'm just grateful to be here. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. I've been home 11 years after serving 25 years in the Texas Department of Correction. Wow. I was just with her, Deborah said decade. I've been home a decade. I'm a case manager for Impact Family Counseling. I'm a credible messenger. Also, I'm certified peer specialist, and I am a director of development for Offender Alumni Association, and I am a messenger of the gospel of the good news. my transition from incarceration to it was smooth. Someone picked me up at the front gate, so I walked out the gate into the car, and I went to my mentor and her house. So that was a smooth thing. I went through some anxiety, a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of things I didn't know how to do. I didn't know how to use a phone. I didn't know how to even flush the new toilet that was out. So the transition, she provided everything that I needed. She provided food. I tried to get food stamps. She told me I didn't need it. It was wonderful. I was just so glad I got to get on Facebook. My sister and them from Birmingham showed me how to get on Facebook to take pictures and just to get connected to my family. When I got the phone, I got to call and talk to my family. It was just awesome. Going shopping, everything was good. And I finally got a chance to go back to Birmingham to my son's graduation. And when I came back, didn't look like I left. I had braids in my hair. I was just totally different. And she said that she was afraid that I would change. And I heard her say that she was afraid that I would change into who I am, a black woman. And my mentor was a white. They was Caucasians, and I said I hadn't changed. It's just that I got my hair fixed. That's fine. Then lo and behold, I'm in the church and I'm growing in the church and I'm meeting the people in my church. I couldn't get a job nowhere. I feel like application after application, no one would have me. So I went to school, and I was getting to get to school, but it was so much anxiety that I couldn't even concentrate in school. I just really couldn't. So my son graduated again. I go back home, but before I went home, this is what she told me. She said that I had a job to do, an assignment to do, and then the assignment I didn't agree with it. I just didn't believe that it was from God, and I just told her that I wasn't going to do it. So when I went back to Alabama to the graduation, I came back. She told me that I had to leave, and so I was put out. I was homeless in a place that I have no idea where I was going. Who I had a car, but I still didn't know the state. I didn't know it. So you can imagine I'm 25 years in incarceration, don't know nobody, don't have no job, don't have no money. Man, my heart was just broken. I was just hurt. Um, so what I did was I went to the church. They took care of me. One of the ladies was going to Africa. She told me I could stay there. I stayed there, and then my parole officer came and said that I need to be home with my family, and I was sentenced. I was sent back home. They paid my brother to come and get me. He drove me back, and when I got there, the guy from Prison Fellowship had told me about Daniel. Deborah Daniels. So he talked to Deborah Daniels, and then Deborah Daniels came and picked me up. And when she came and picked me up, I went to Offender Alumni Association. And I can't tell you, when I was in Birmingham, I tried to hook up with resources. I tried to get connected. No one would accept me because I had already been home a whole year. So they said nothing they can do. So when I went into Offender Alumni Association, they embraced me. They received me. And I realized I thought I had a smooth transition. I really didn't have a smooth transition because I wasn't around the people of my kind to be able to encourage me, to be able to lift me up, because I was feeling withdrawn. I was feeling isolated. I was feeling rejected. I was feeling so terrible that thoughts was coming in my mind, said, girl, you might can't make it out here. You might need to go back in there. But once I got hooked up with a feeling liner, I began to soar. Don't get me wrong, God was in my life and he's still in my life. But regard, it's a balance. I had to have that balance. And I didn't have that balance. And I got hooked up with them and they began to encourage me, just like it said. They said, create a network of former offenders to inspire one another, to reduce recidivism. That's what they was doing. They were inspiring me for me not to go back. They were telling me you can make it. I looked at Deborah Daniels. I watched Deborah Daniels like a hope, man. I said, if she can make it, I can make it. So I didn't ask her to be my mentor. I just took it upon myself that she was going to be my mentor. Because I watched everything she did. And then it said for us to establish healthy relationship in our community. Then I began to start working in the community to start doing things with offending alumni to build up the community, which we once tore down with our crime life. And it was just awesome. I was just feeling good. I was feeling in my purpose. I knew my purpose was to deal with offender alumni. I mean, ex-offenders. I knew that was my purpose. And then it said to provide opportunity for economic, social, and civic empowerment. And that's what I seen was taking place. That is our mission statement. That is who we are. And for them to make me director of development, to be over their money, the biggest thief in the world. I used to steal everybody's money, but now God had put me in a place that loved me and accepted me and trusted me over their money. They trusted
Well, wait a
me.
minute, Lisa, because you're on a roll. Lisa, you're on a roll. So let me slow you down for a minute. Let me pull the reins back, if you will, because I
Yes,
want
he
you
rolling.
and Deborah as well to speak. First of all, let us know. A lot of people know about men and the mass incarceration of men, but people are little aware that women population in prison is actually escalating. So, if you will, Deborah, you go first, and then Lisa, you come in. Tell us a little bit about that trend or that norm that's taking place, and a little about how a woman being incarcerated is affecting the family different than it is for men.
Okay, you're absolutely right, my brother. There is a shift that's going on, and women are being incarcerated now at a higher rate than men are. So we're seeing that increase, that explosion that's going on. And women are the main caregivers of the family, so to speak. And when I say caregivers, I'm not talking providers. I'm talking caregivers. We all have our role, men and us as the women of the family, but we are the ones who give that love and attention,
Emotion, right, right.
right, to the children, to the family, to that nucleus of our family, right? So when we're removed, and even when you all are removed, but we're specifically talking about women today. So when we're removed from that environment, there is a missing component that is not being nurtured in our children, that only a woman can give. Okay. So we're seeing the effects of that. And we're seeing the impact that drugs is having on our women. Women are using opiates at an astronomical increase nowadays. Okay. Drugs and being strung out and all of that than they used to be. So all of that is causing a decline and a decay within the family. And when a woman is in prison, we're considered the individuals who are kind of touchy feely. We're the love bugs, right? We're the ones who want to hug and nurture and take care of people. And so what I've seen happen in prison, and I'm sure Lisa can attest to this, I've seen women come in and create families in prisons. Okay. This is my mama. This may be an older woman. And now this is my sister. And you may have some of the individuals that's incarcerated that may now call you, hey mama, you my mama. You know what I'm saying? So they still build that family environment in there. Okay. And what I've seen happen when we leave there, we leave people behind that we have developed a close-knit relationship with, that we need to be there and go back in and help them come out, or either build them up while they're in there to be leaders, right? But to help them come out and make that successful transition, just like we have. Just like Lisa said, coming from Texas, not knowing, what was going to happen, who she was going to connect with, but just having some hands that's reach out with all there's no underlying motive for it. You don't owe me nothing. Lisa getting ready to buy her house or has bought her house. We've watched her grow. And if she grows, we grow. Our community grows. Our alumni grows. Our wealth grows amongst individuals who have been impacted so that they can no longer say that, we are a detriment or a hindrance to the society or the community. But look at us, brother. Incarceration to incorporation, right?
Exactly.
That says
Exactly.
something. And we can do just that. Because if we look back in history, our parents, our grandparents, they were entrepreneurs, a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So we're just taking the skills that's already in us, but now we're mobilizing together. And we can only do this thing together. That's why we're an alumni.
So is it safe to say, like people going into the prison system, it's the energy that you bring in, and then it's the energy that you take out, or
Yes.
that you leave with you. Like you said, the energy that you bring in, meeting different people, different from different walks of life, you come together and you become a bond. You become a bond. So then when you leave, a lot of those that's left behind, they like, man, that she has that energy, she leaving that energy behind, or
Right.
he's leaving that energy behind. So it's safe, we have to keep in contact with those ones that's still in there.
It's safe to say you're absolutely right, but we've got to go back in. And for too long, society has hindered us from doing that, right? Because of all the guidelines and stipulations. There's some unwritten guidelines that say you got to be out 3 years, or you can't be on paper and go back in. But we're seeing that change because they know that the people who are closest to the problem is closest to the solution, and they're realizing that now for us. For so long, they had the conversations and they made the decisions and the plans on what we needed. No, you need us at the table. We need to be a part of the solution. We need to be engaged with one another, my brother. And I can't thank you all enough for having us here. I'm going to leave it there for a minute, okay?
All right.
Y'all some powerful sisters. I got to say that. And it's just an inspiration. I'm a big talker, but I like the fact that you all have a message that these women need to hear. And it's inspirational to them also, because I know it's inspirational to us to see that you all are showing that this isn't a male problem. This is a universal problem for male and female, because every male and female, both persuasions go to jail or prison, and you have to have a way to come back out and do the right thing. And like I said, once paid, a debt is no longer a debt. You've already paid your debt to society. Only thing you could tell a person that want to bring that up is read the rest of the book. Just don't read that page. Read the rest of the book. And you women are showing that. Y'all are showing that there's more to the book than what that one page they're reading. So I applaud you all.
Awesome. I agree with that. Lisa, I know you got that passion, and you share with us a little bit about where you are right now and how does it feel where you are, the position that you're in. How does it feel, number one, but also number two, in Deuteronomy 8, before I got out of prison, there was a chapter that said, always remember, never forget. When you were released, always remember those relationships that you started and cultivated. So tell us those two things. Tell us, how does it feel to be in the position you're in now, but also what are you doing intentionally to remember where you came from and the people that you left there?
Well, how I'm feeling, elated is a small word. Freedom is good. Freedom feel good. I feel awesome. I'm um, I'm honored to be out, to be a forerunner for those who coming behind us. To be able to close on a house that I never had a chance to even come this close to having a house. On the 14th, I closed for my house. But see, I didn't close by myself. The offender alumni encouraged me, inspired me, and helped me to get in this position. It wasn't just because Lisa working a job and Lisa got money. No, it's the resources and the encouragement and they believed in me to be able to close on this house. It's I moved in the time of the pandemic and they provided me shelter until I got to a place where I can get a house. That's what I'm saying. I feel beyond anything that anybody can imagine to have an investment. I never was able to invest. A house is an investment. It's not just lease a house. It's what God want to do with that house for those who coming behind, for other people. Because I kept saying, I don't think I see myself really in this house. I just don't see it. But it's not about me. It started with me, but it's not about me. And you said from Deuteronomy 8, what I'm doing what God called me to do from the inside. He called me from the inside to be an example, to be an encourager, to be contagious. So what I did was I started on the inside dealing with individuals, mothers, daughters, sisters, friends. I began to encourage them. I began to give them hope because I had hope. I knew that I was going to be out, even though they told me I was going to die in that place. And what I'm doing through Offend Alumni is what I was doing on the inside is helping someone else to see a new way of living. You don't have to die in that place. You don't have to die out here. We can have just as much that anybody out here in this world can have. We are God's children, just like everybody else. He said, I am no respect of a person. What I do for one, he'll do it for another. Don't talk about it. Don't just say I'm a prayer about it. We got to go in and hands on and to help those sisters, help those brothers, to let them know that we need you kings and we need the queens to connect, to inspire our next generation. So they can uprise and be the daughters, the sons, the kings and queens that God called us to be from the beginning.
I love your energy, sister. Your energy, what got you everything that you got since you've been on. And that energy started off once you went in. Once you went in, you already had your steps forward and what you was gonna do when you came on. And like you said, God guided you. He used your energy. He connected you with the right people. And here you are. I commend you, sister. Straight
Thank
up.
you.
Very good,
Straight up.
very good. I agree with AB and Deborah. I'm systematic in my thought process, and so help us. You started OAA, Offender Alumni Association, and AB coined the title of this organization, Incarceration to Incorporation. Tell us, because I know it wasn't easy when you first came home, and it's big now. It's Alabama, Atlanta, Savannah, but it wasn't like that when you first started. So tell us systematically, if you will, take us, transition us with that journey of you meeting whoever you met and how you started by yourself, then 2 to 3 people, and then help us go along that journey. And the reason why is because there are other men and women who've gotten out of prison and now they are trying to start their own organization, incorporation, business, ministry, or what have you. So walk us through that journey, if you will.
All right, thank you. So, like I said, when I first got out, one of my positions, well, my main position was my employment with Prison Fellowship Ministries. And I was employed with Prison Fellowship for 19 years. But what I realized was that was a missing component. And I realized it back in 2000, really, because the area director for Prison Fellowship at that time was a former offender too. His name was Maury Talbert Jr. And I remember Mr. Talbert telling me, he said, if you want to learn, now this was back in about 19 98. If you want to learn how to stay out of prison, jump in my back pocket. Well, I thought he was being arrogant and conceited. I'm like, I don't need to jump in your back pocket. I got this. You know what I'm saying? That spirit rose up in me. I got this. But then in my quiet time, when I thought about it, I was like, man, I've been to prison 3 times. What he said makes a little sense because he's been out a while and he's working for a national ministry and doing good. And so I did exactly what he said. I jumped in his back pocket and he groomed me for his position with Prison Fellowship as he was getting ready to retire. And I knew there was some truth in what I had seen in my own life, even though, like Lisa said, I had other people around me, but my strongest connection, my strongest encourager was the former offender that was in my life that was saying, you can do this. I understand you're hesitant. I know you don't want to do this, but you've got to press forward and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? He had been there so he could share that experience with me. So then in about 2010, we developed a program inside of the prison where we were working with men that were within a year, 2 years to a year of release. And we were pouring into them, giving them life skills and all of this. And then we were talking about, okay, what about the transition? Who are the reentry providers, that we're going to connect them with? Where is the lodging and the sheltering going to come from that they need? And what we found out is that as our men and women was transitioning out of prison, that we were connecting them with providers who really had no knowledge about what this person really needed. I mean, you can provide housing, but if you can't provide the emotional, mental, and support I need, the housing ain't really doing me no good. And if you don't have the right motive of why you're providing the services, then you're just doing it to provide for yourself on my back. And people see that, you know what I'm saying? So we begin to say, there's something that's truly missing. And that missing component is us. We have got to become a stronger element in this fight for reduction of crime and recidivism, for reduction in mass incarceration. We have got to be a part of the solution. If there are 74 million people with a criminal index record in America, that's the largest alumni in any university or anywhere in the United States that can say that they have something in common, something similar, something that holds them together. So that's how we started. We started with a small little kickoff. I did a little luncheon and I passed the vision, and I had some former offenders that was there who had been out like myself. And I said, where are we? We have got to get more involved. And that's where I had met our program director before, but Dina Dickerson, and you all will get to hear from her now. She's dynamite. So when you bring her on, you've got a whole nother show. But Dina Dickerson was at this luncheon, and Dina raised her hand and she said, when do we start? And I was like, well, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting to do a little bit more planning, and talking about it. And so Dina is the one who has really been the win in all of this. Even though I was the visionary, she is the boots and the win of this whole movement that we have. She has been a volunteer with the Offender Alumni for 6 years, volunteering at least 20, 30 hours a week. Last year, we were able to get funds, and we were able to give her first paycheck, part-time paycheck. And we took a picture because it was an honor to say, sister, you deserve this for the work that you have poured into other people's lives. So that's kind of how we started. And from there, we started with one group. It was on a Monday night. And all I said to my 3 or 4 people that was with me who said, I'm with you, we hear you. I said, we just need to continue to meet until God reveals the plan forward for us. And we cannot stop meeting. We must be committed. Our doors need to be open every Monday from 6 to 7. I don't care if it's but 1 or 2 people in here. Because what if the newcomer comes and that door is locked?
That's right. That's right. That's right. And and see, that's what determination will do for you. It's just understanding and knowing that you have a passion to do something and doing it. If you can find your way into prison, you can find your way into a job. You can find your way into being successful. My good friend, Pastor Leonard Smalls, here in Savannah, he owns 3 radio stations after doing a 2-year prison bit 30, 40 years ago, 40 years ago. But he's a success story that I want to emulate, to do things like he did, because you can't let anybody slow you down. You all had a vision and you are putting it into play. And that's what's so important. Knowing that, did y'all have that support system when you finally got home? Was people there to help you get to the next level, or did you struggle and have to go and find a way to do the things that you all are doing now?
As far as the Fender Alumni Association goes, there were a lot of people who said they were with us that really wasn't with us. And God revealed those people real quick. Now, as far as coming home from prison, from incarceration in 1997, it was a struggle because I had been in an environment, first of all, where I had not made any decisions. You know what I'm saying? And I had come conditioned. So there was a unconditioning. Like my mom told me one time, she said, "Baby, why do you keep going to that refrigerator and opening it up and just staring in there? If there's something in there you want, just get it." I couldn't even think. Because I had been to a refrigerator and opened the door and looked and say, "Wow, I could just get that." So it was some of those things. But for me, as far as financially, it was a struggle being a parent, a single parent in the beginning with children, you know what I'm saying? Making minimum wages. But one of the things that was different for me this time is that I knew I had changed. I knew I wanted something different. Right. That was one of the things that I knew had changed in me. And I felt that change. I wasn't really anxious. There was a time when my lights was off. And my daughter said, "Mom," she was 10 years old, "when things are looking bad, he steps in." And I knew that was a word from the Lord, because in my mind, something else was telling me, "You ain't got to do this. You know how to hustle, sister. You can get your bills back." But yes, no, I didn't have a lot of the struggles. Some people that we work with, that we have seen that don't have that family support, that don't have that community connection. I did have a church that kind of embraced me and adopted me. But as far as the Fender Alumni Association go, yes, we have experienced some real criticism. We have seen how people can racially discriminate against you. You know what I'm saying? They won't give you the money to do what you're doing way better than somebody else. They'll give you some crumbs. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but we are determined. So we continue to push forward in spite of what's pushing back. And we have a group of people that's doing that together. So when you got movement like that, you can't fail.
Okay, well, we got a question from comment. Well, it was a question. What was it like to be reintroduced to dating? Lisa, you want to go with that one? If you date,
Yeah, but that question ain't to you right now. We're gonna let Lisa. We let you. let you recover from that.
Um, well, I hadn't dated until I guess last year, a year for less. I've been out 11 years. I
Mm,
couldn't see nobody to date because once you are changed and you have that spiritual awakening, you begin to see things that you know not to fall into. Not saying that I'm perfect. It's just that I didn't come out here to play the radio. I want a husband that would love me and support me and to encourage me and to who will come be able to teach me about being in society once I've been gone. But I didn't want a man to just lay with me. I want a man
amen.
that loved me for who I am, like God has showed me his love, unconditional. Not that it's perfect. So I did date and I really wanted to get out of it. Somebody told me to go back. I went back. I knew not to go back, but I trusted them, and I'm glad they told me to go back. Don't get me wrong, because I learned some stuff. And right today, me and the guy are really friends, but he just couldn't understand. I said that I will date you, but we were not having sex before marriage. So we dated. We knew each other for 4 years, and we dated for 8 months. And the brother said he couldn't hold on no more. And I told him that I wasn't of this world, and I'm gonna hold on because if I held on for all that time, and God has blessed me, and He will bless me, and if He don't, I'm still pressing on because I have
Amen.
work to do. I'm not called just to be in a relationship. I am the relationship with
All
Okay.
right, I
people.
know that.
So
Right.
Hey,
Talk.
before you go,
That's
Deborah,
that
I just got to
energy.
interject right there. That was powerful. And I'm glad that you said it that way, Lisa, because there are many men, when we get out of prison, the first thing we look for is relationship. And so, whoever asked that question in the chat, I am grateful that they gave you a platform to let us know, but especially to let women know that you are valuable and that you belong to God and that you can have control until you see that it's time to do it His way. So I am grateful for that platform. I'm looking forward to hearing what Deborah got to say now.
So mine was a little different, okay? Just a little different. So I got out of prison and I was going to church and raising my three children and my niece, because my oldest daughter was staying with my sister at the time. And I got out of church one Sunday and I went by the grocery store and I heard somebody saying, Deborah, Deborah. And I'm like, oh my God, who is that calling my name? And so I turned around and this man was standing in front of me, right?
Your Boaz.
Yeah, from my past. And he looked at me and I'm standing there and I'm looking at him and I do not know who this man is. And he's looking at me because I guess he could see I got this deer in the headlight look. He said, Deborah, you don't know who I am, do you? And I was like, no. And he said, I'm Roy Daniels. Me and Roy Daniels dated for 4 years before I got in my mess. And Roy Daniel was a hardworking man at the railroad station. And when I was in my mess and my drug addiction, Roy told me, he says, I love you. He says, but this is not good for either one of us. So me and Roy separated. We did not see each other for about 12 or 15 years. And then it was on that day at that grocery store that we were reconnected. And I wasn't ready, but he said, I see you trying to raise these children and I want to help you. So
I
he
think
started coming.
your sound going out.
Oh, so he started coming over and cutting the grass for me, taking the kids out. And then one day I got scared. And he
Can
asked me,
y'all hear?
can you hear me?
Helen,
It's low. It's low.
Hold up, Deborah.
Okay.
It's
It's
a ring in
something
We
that's
there.
lost you,
going
Deborah.
on.
Can you speak up?
Now
It
she
went
Say
muted.
all
something,
the way
Deborah.
out now. You got it on mute.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Very low. Low. It's low.
It's low?
real low.
I don't know what happened. I haven't changed anything. Let me
Oh,
see.
okay. Because we need to hear the rest of that story.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Lisa,
did something.
I
You
think
trying to tell
Lisa,
the rest of that story.
I
Huh?
think it
Can
might
you
have been
hear?
Lisa. Put
Okay.
yours on mute for a minute, Lisa, and let's see if we can hear Deborah.
Okay. So can you
No,
hear me?
it's not hers. Mute yours,
I
Julius.
heard.
Can you hear me better now? I don't know what happened.
It's a ringing going on.
I don't know what happened.
No, it's just started ringing. Then she got low.
Can you hear me
Okay.
now?
Do you have your phone on next to it?
No,
Okay. I don't know what's that.
Okay.
What is
Well, you
that?
all go ahead and we'll see if it comes back up.
Okay. Sounds like your mic might be disconnected. Somebody said, Miss Grimes.
My mic, it sounds like the mic disconnected. Okay, let me
That
go.
wouldn't. That wouldn't. We wouldn't be able to hear her if it was disconnected. I don't think.
Yeah, it's not disconnected all the way.
Okay. What about
Now
now?
you can let her get her mic right and go on to Lisa. I love Lisa
Okay.
anyway too.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
Lisa.
but Deborah, we're not getting out of this. We still got 10 minutes. We want to hear the rest of that story. You might have to be five
we
minutes
got
over.
we got 14 minutes. I want to hear the rest of the story too. Hey, but next
The ringing
question.
has stopped. I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
she
hear
on
it
mute.
either.
I don't hear the ring.
Because she on mute.
Say something. Oh, she on mute.
Yeah, yeah. When she muted, that's when the sound went away.
Wow.
Unmute yourself, Deborah, and see what it says.
All right. So I
It's
might
still
be.
I heard
ringing.
it ring. As
It's
soon as
still
I heard
ringing.
it ring,
I tell
the
you
ring
what, you
came
know what to
back.
do, Deborah? Go out and come back in. And y'all go ahead and give your next question to Lisa.
Lisa, if you can, tell us, not, and when I say us, I mean the women that are out there who just got out of prison and they are starting over. Give them a word of encouragement about their journey. And also, because you've been out 10 years now, allow that word to cause them to endure through the difficulties that might come in their lives. Because everything is not always success. That's not the reality of everyone. Success at the beginning. You endured, and look what God has done for you. So speak to that young lady or that older lady that just got out or that has been out, but they're struggling. Help them with a word of encouragement.
First of all, I would like to tell uh, the women to please take your time. Take your time uh, getting things done. Don't feel that you have to rush. Don't allow the anxiety to overtake you when people trying to make you think that you're ready to step in a place that you're not ready to step into. Don't let them force their ability of being out in the free world as long as you have. Because sometimes they'll say, you like you be on a computer. You ain't got it done yet. Don't allow none of that to make you feel less than.
Right.
Okay? And then when you go to the grocery store, girl, you ain't got your stuff together yet. Take your time. Learn to speak up and say, I'm not ready yet. I don't understand. I don't know how to do it. Humble yourself to get some help. Don't come out here like you got it together, that you all that. No, take your time. When someone try to make a decision from you and they order your food, say, no, I got it. If it takes you 20 minutes, that's the beginning of your breakthrough when you make the responsibility to order your own food because we have been conditioned in that prison, when to eat, when to sleep, when to bathe, when to go to rec, when to go to the store, what time we gonna eat, what we gonna eat. We didn't have no decisions. We was conditioned. So when you get out here, they're gonna try to rush you into that, but not intended because they don't understand where you come from. Don't be too quick. I got to make money. I got to get a job. No, you got to, first of all, you have to, the Bible said count the cost before you get involved in it. A lot of people's not counting the cost. They're just doing by what people say do. Don't get me wrong. I had a lot of people encourage me, but I checked my spirit first. I checked the God in me first because that's who has kept me 25 years in that place. So I can't come out of here and be led by somebody who's of the world. I have to be led by somebody who's a citizen in heaven because that's where I'm going. So I need to know what God got me out here and what He want me to do. So take your time. When you know that you have anxiety, step back. Go in your room for a minute. Breathe. Go on, sit on the toilet. Pray and say, God, give me the strength. Open my eyes. What to do? What direction to go? Go back in there, and then when you go to job hunt, be open and honest. Don't be ashamed. God already died for that. Whatever you went in prison for 2,000 years ago, He's just telling you to come on, baby. I already got it together. Don't worry about it. Be honest. Because when I got my job, I told them that I was in prison, what I was in prison for, and people had degrees, didn't get the job, but I did. To God be the glory. Because God allowed you to live, to come out, and you have purpose. And we are here to support you, offender alumni, to help you, to guide you. And remember, your family and them that have not been incarcerated understand where you at emotionally, physically, nor socially. They don't understand because they have not been where you've been. And one more thing, and if you're a long timer, it's hard to socialize. We've been told, turn our head, bow our head down, put our hand behind our back when some free will people come in, so we didn't know how to talk to them. So when you're in a crowd, you feeling less than, go and step back, it's okay. Little by little, find that one person that you could talk to, that you could socialize, that will build you up to be social. So you can learn how to operate and learn how to maneuver. And let me tell you, don't stop reading the Bible because you came out here. Don't stop doing your meditation because that's what's going to keep you. Because when you stop, you get weak. And then that's when the enemy come in and use stuff to draw you away. Stay faithful. Press on. You can make it because you got people out here already done been there before you and willing to help you 100%. Offender alumni is here to support you. If they wasn't, I would not be here. I'm telling you, it's God in it all day long. I don't care what religion you are. We are here to support you 100.
I know that's right. I know that's right. You were great to listening to you talk. I'm pretty sure. Well, I know you're a great asset to Offenders Alumni Association. I know you're a great asset to them, also, and them helping you. And also, I hear some comedian in you. You might look into doing some comedy too, because you can talk. You got that energy. You got that energy. You got that energy. All right, over to Deborah. We're gonna let her
See if
finish
your
up.
mic working. See if your mic working, Deborah. Girl, your mic went all the way out.
Is it on? Did she go from on mute? Did she take it off?
Remember,
Mute?
do what you did the first time when you came on in the at mic check. We can't hear you. You hear us, but we can't hear you.
So
Well, when you get it right,
you just invited yourself on to another show.
yeah, that's what you're doing. You're just trying to come back next week.
Same time, we're gonna pick up where we left off with you.
Because we got to hear that story. Okay. Any other questions for these young ladies? We got about 6-7 minutes left.
One thing I want to say, with that OAA on Offenders Alumni Association, I know that would be very helpful to Incarceration, to Incorporation. I'm out here in North Carolina, and when I came home, a lot of people that I reached out to, as far as judges and people that that in the reentry programs, they didn't have anything to offer me. And once I reached out to a few of them, what they told me, a few of the judges told me, is that why would they help someone stay out of prison when their jobs is to lock
Mm,
the people up? So
mm,
so that kind of discouraged me, and I started back going and talking to different people, trying to get them to see what I was trying to do with Incarceration to Incorporation, is to help those getting out, and to help them apply themselves, transition back into society. And I know I met a lot of them that are entrepreneurs. They had an entrepreneurial spirit when I met them in prison, and my whole job was to help them with the resources that they need to further their entrepreneurship, to get them the financial means that they need, and just reach out to people to help them further their businesses. So some of the things that you said, Deborah, I would love to talk to you about, and see how we both can work together, and I can get something like you doing something started here in North Carolina with Incarceration to Incorporation.
And I'm
See,
That's
grateful
kind
next,
of
to
where
awesome.
I'm
go
grateful
ahead,
to
that's
Julius.
the
be able
talent.
to say that it's because of them that we have OAA Savannah. They came. Dina came down and spent the weekend here and kind of helped help me navigate the waters and start Offender Alumni Association here in Savannah, and we're doing well. And so, I just want these ladies to put their information in the chat room, or we're definitely going to get it to Julius and also to you, AB, so that we can get this thing out, not just to Alabama and Carolina and Georgia, but as far as we can, because, as she says, 74 million people are under some type of parole or probation, or have experienced what we are experiencing. And if all of us can connect, can hold hands, if you will, we can do a lot to not curb but kill recidivism, and just continue to, like Lisa said, encourage by our stories, so that people will know that we or they are not alone. So, ladies, I am definitely grateful for this opportunity. And we, like Julius and AB said, we're going to have you back when these guys said that we can come back, and we want to go a little further in the story about how you're starting this nationwide uh, OAA Incredible Messages. We never got a chance to speak about what Credible Messages was, and what the peer mentor is, and peer specialist. So we will definitely give you a platform to share those things again. And again, I just want to say thank you, and thank you.
Yeah, and they say, my wife says she want to know what happened after he started cutting the grass.
We got married.
Oh, now
Now,
your wife
now
working.
she want to come on. Now she want to come on. Now we hear you loud and clear.
Okay, yeah, it's working now. It probably just got it overheated with hearing that story. So he was cutting the grass, and next thing you know, he's walking down the aisle. Okay,
Been married since, we've been married since 2000 now.
oh
We dated
God,
back in 1983. It's when we first met each other. So we've had a long history of knowing one another, and now we've been married some decades. So
21 years.
21 years.
Wow, what a testament! That is so awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. And
That's a
Lisa, you ain't never told us what happened to the man, was you?
He's still my friend
that's
because
that comedian.
he's still my friend because I'm who I am in Christ. That's
Okay,
why he's
okay,
still my friend. It's
okay.
just that he's just one of the man that I want to spend the rest of my life with because I need a king. I don't need a queen.
Okay.
He ain't
Well,
he ain't
it's
doing
another
he ain't doing it. He ain't doing it, saying what you want, things that you want to hear, and the things that you want to see. He ain't doing that, huh?
It's not a bad thing. He's just not ready because it was times I wasn't ready. He's
Okay.
just not ready for where I'm going. I'm going all around the world. it's 7 million people been infected by crime, and I'm going to reach out and touch somebody. I don't want to just touch a man. I want to touch the world.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna give y'all information to Pastor Grimes, Pastor Valerie Jenkins Grimes. She has a show where she touches on this also. It's a Saturday morning show and I'm sure she'll probably want to put you all on with the Offender Alumni Association on the show because she has an outreach program also. She's doing some great things. I'm hoping to get her on this program, on this platform in the next 30 to 45 days with her show, hopefully. And we want to thank everybody who watched tonight. But I was getting to Pastor Leonard Small. Pastor Small has 3 radio stations. One of them right now, currently, is broadcasting this show. And by broadcasting this show, there is broadcasting into federal prison FCI Jessup. And this is what we want to do. We want to be able to put the Offender Alumni Association into so women can hear it. So when we have men on it, the men can hear it, so that we can do and have that those resources and that information for them. So when they get out, they won't offend again, and they can rebuild their lives. So y'all are doing great things. I'm glad to meet y'all, and we're gonna have y'all back on the show. I know that if y'all got other people with testimonies that y'all know, get them in touch with us and Julius and me and AB, and we're gonna put them on the show so people can hear, because that inspiration, you'll never know where it came from. You never know where it comes from, you know.
Right.
And that's what we want to do, because once y'all see, y'all know what I'm doing. So I'm running for mayor. so so they ain't no joke. You can go anywhere from
Yeah.
where you've been.
Right.
You know, anywhere from where you've been, as long as you keep breathing, and as long as you keep your head up and do the right thing and walk in the right light.
Right on,
Stay
brother.
prayerful.
Right
Julius and
on.
AB.
Thank you.
Julius.
Thank you all, my
Ladies,
brothers.
thank y'all again.
Thank you.
AB, Julius, I'll see y'all later next week.
It's an honor
Hey,
to join
I thank y'all sisters. Awesome sisters. Awesome
you,
sisters.
baby.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Don't forget,
Awesome.
y'all stay on. Y'all stay on. I told call Lisa and tell her to get back in before I get out, because she won't be able to get back on.
Okay.
Julius just left too.
Oh, Julius got to go. He got church.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, you just stay right there. Don't go nowhere.
Okay.
Anyway, we thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next
We'll
Friday
see
with
y'all
the same
next week.
show. Don't forget to
Same
tune
time.
in at 8:30 tonight. We got a special episode of Our Vulnerable Communities, 8:30 tonight. All things relevant media on Facebook, 8:30 tonight. Don't forget, AB.
All right. See y'all next week. Same time from 6 to 7 o'clock. It's Incarceration to Incorporation. All things relevant media. We'll see y'all back here next week. Thanks
All
for a
right.
good show. Great show.